Alright. Hello everyone and now welcome to a game. Yumiko versus Vankor, this game taking place here on Shattered Exile 2.4. Yumiko, the green human spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map, opening things up with the standard altar of kings, barracks, and farm. Meanwhile, on the top right, we're looking at, well, Room of Relics, Altar of Darkness. Hero is going to be a Crypt Lord. Looked like it was a Death Knight for a quick moment, deciding to swap over to Crypt Lord, going up against an Archmage. Alright, Archmage versus Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord obviously means we will be looking at some beetles out on the map. A very, very strong, powerful creeping mechanism, being able to swarm the map with a bunch of small units and perhaps surround some targets after a nice impale. Altar of Darkness now being unsummoned. So, well, Vankor really looking to perhaps set up an expo here at this 3 o'clock spot. Meanwhile, Yumiko pretty much doing a similar strategy, and he may, in fact, just try to build his expo knowing that his opponent is trying to expo as well. And timing is going to be key here. Archmage should be able to get to level 2 very easily, finishing off this Kobold Taskmaster. Off to the north here, Ghouls gonna go ahead and take down this rogue, claw its way through. Archmage, is he gonna try an expo? It looks like he is no other reason to try and gather lumber here unless you want them to stay close by and build up a tower. Not quite sure what's going on, waiting for Yumiko's peasants to do something. Meanwhile, down on the other side of the map here, the east side, well, Blight already being placed down. Vankor placing the Blight in an interesting spot there. The Haunted Gold Mine, normally the Blight is placed down a little bit further so that there's more room for the ghouls and the beetles to benefit from that natural regeneration. While that Haunted Gold Mine, well, it doesn't necessarily need a Blight in order to get in order to be placed down. Acolyte gonna get finished off here, not being denied by Vankor, so Yumiko getting a little bit of bonus experience as the Expo, or the Haunted Gold Mine is still being summoned, but it is gonna get, well, absolutely destroyed by the Kobold Taskmaster and the the Kobolds altogether. They're not gonna want this Haunted Gold Mine to be completed. Alright, already suffering quite a bit of damage. Is Vankor still trying to set up this base? That is the question here. The progress bar on the time is still moving forward, but hit points are dangerously low, especially with the human army still so close by. Alright, Haunted Goldmine getting it back up to 200 hit points. There's the summoning of a Ziggurat there. Perhaps we will see a Nerubian Tower. Footman Archmage trying to fight back, but low mana means that there are no more water elementals to be seen, as also we are still looking at a very, very large army, or a wide army with so many targets to try and tackle and hit. Low hit point Ghoul down to 30 hit points. The Kobolds are going to once again try to engage here. Acolyte could easily get some repairs here. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for a Ziggurat or the Haunted Gold Mine to be completed, as the Archmage of Yumiko is just punishing this Expo attempt. Off on the other side of the map, a couple of ghouls are trying to take down a couple of militia. Footmen are here as well, so both sides are trying to expo. Both sides are getting punished for it, as the Haunted Gold Mine is now done, and we could be looking at a couple of acolytes ready to get in some collection. All right, Ziggurat about to finish upgrading to a Nerubian Tower. And meanwhile, Kobold here have been trying to defend their homeland for so long, as the Archmage and the Crypt Lord have been battling up against each other as well. Alright, who's going to get the last shot on that Kobold? It looks like the Crypt Lord wants to get it. He does get it, grabs the Circlet of Nobility, and now at level 3, able to summon up level 2 Carrion Beetles, who have significantly more hit points. Alright, the Crypt Lord needs to summon up a couple more as well. There goes another body. Are we looking at some repairs? No, just mining a gold here at the 3 o'clock expo. Meanwhile, Yumiko at the 9 o'clock expo, not yet at full saturation. Archmage trying to dive onto a couple of ghouls here. There's a water elemental as well. Continuing all of that pressure, water elemental going to try and poke apart these acolytes. shouldn't be too easy since the Acolytes do have better life regeneration while on Blight, but there's not that enough units to try and help keep these units alive here. Ghouls, Water Elemental going to go ahead and pick off one Acolyte there, another Acolyte about to fall. Meanwhile, we're still looking at Beetles trying to take apart all of these peasants across on the other side of the map. All right. Well, yeah, Vankor is just summoning up Beetles like mad, able to easily defend. And Yumiko is, well, needlessly putting damage on the Necropolis. He's not going to take down this building. Not quite sure why the Archmage is just here instead of diving in after perhaps a ghoul or two, or to try and actually deal some lasting bit of damage, or going after these Acolytes here. All right, multiple Acolytes are now down. There are no Acolytes mining, or one Acolyte only mining off at the main base. There is full saturation here as we are getting up a Graveyard and Necropolis and an Altar of Darkness again. All right, Cryptlord will get to level 4, and this has got to be one of the strangest games I've seen in quite some time. Taking a look at Vankor's base, it is very, very sparse. There's not much really inside here. Only the starting Necropolis, 2 Ziggurats, a Tomb of Relics, and a Crypt here. Not that much base defense either, as the Necropolis is going to be finishing its upgrade to Tier 2. Meanwhile, looking back on the other side, we are going to be upgrading to Tier 2. A Goblin Shredder has been added in by Yumiko, as the ghouls have been, well, constantly putting pressure here at the Expo as well. What is going to go down? Haunted Gold Mine not even bothered to be repaired. Yumiko going to grab the other Goblin Shredder, pick it up, perhaps try an elevator, drop inside the base here, and perhaps take down this Haunted Gold Mine, or at least put pressure onto some of these Acolytes. All right, where's the damage going down on? Are we going to see a Goblin, or are we going to see Acolytes falling? Yes, we are. One Acolyte already down. Another Acolyte could end up falling here. It looks like, yes, a second Acolyte will be cleaned up, as well as the Goblin Zeppelin picking up and dropping off targets, dropping off, well, units in that backline spot. A couple of ghouls here, more Acolytes being trained up once more, trying to saturate the main gold mine. Meanwhile, Yumiko already at keep upgrading the castle very, very quickly while training up a paladin. Low hit point footman trying to get away. Cryptlord should be able to close in on that distance and finish off that footman here. Not quite sure, is he gonna... Wow, that Cryptlord is actually was slower than I thought he was gonna be. We're looking at an Arcane Tower here causing a little bit of damage. Footman says, you know what, let me deliver myself to you. No, decides to back away. All right, that Footman by Yumiko actually just going to get denied there. Not worth saving, or not worth accidentally giving that experience over. Vankor looking to clear out of this creep camp here, going to be able to do so. Footmen are scouting out of this spot. Yumiko knows exactly where Vankor is. Paladin shows up to the party, perhaps going to try and Holy Light finish off a couple of these beetles, or just put pressure in some other way. Well, there's that, Exterminator. I was like, I can't think of words today. All right. Goblin Zeppelin gonna get cleaned up here, or gonna get cleaned up. No, instead switching targets, gonna try and finish off some more footmen. Vankor gonna try and retreat back. Cloak of Shadows picked up by the Cryptlord here as the Archmage and Paladin, and 36 supply going up against 34. Yumiko still trying to get to Tier 3, and perhaps going to be pushing out with Tier 3 units, as we are looking at Arcane Sanctum now getting added in late to this game. All right, we're at the nearing the 11-minute mark of this game. Archmage and Cryptlords are both at level 4. Paladin and Death Knight both sitting at level 1. Creeping is still going on here, trying to go after these rogues and other units. Meanwhile, Death Knight, gargoyles, and beetles. Not many ghouls at all. None that I see. Doing some creeping as well as the Crypt Lord is taking a lot of the experience, while the Death Knight really needs to get to level 2 for that Unholy Aura movement. Alright, Assassin trying to spread out all of that poison, as we're going to see a potential creep jack again. Triple water elementals could cause problems. Yumiko trying to get a Kobold Geomancer and a Forest Troll High Priest, perhaps going to try to abolish magic some of these other units as well, and taking down some of these beetles. Level 2 now on the Paladin, who then goes for a Divine Shield, and now is able to easily heal up some other targets. So what looked like a potential creep jack, suddenly Yumiko having enough gold to just hire up everyone out of the mercenary camp and cause problems. There are assassins in that creep camp, so assassins are very powerful with that early poison damage, able to apply that poison to multiple targets and, well, slowly drain hit points from multiple units. Forest Troll Warlord, Forest Troll Trapper will get taken down. Paladin will get to level 3 if the creeping is not interrupted by the Archmage. Paladin sitting at level 2 right now. Nope, not the Mountain King. There is the Mountain King. Dwarven Rifleman showing up. Thought was a Mountain King for a second. I thought was going to deny that Paladin level 3. Mountain King does have Stormbolt, does also bring an Orb of Fire and a Staff of Sanctuary, interestingly enough. Meanwhile, Mountain King may want to try to go after, we're going to see a Stormbolt. Nope, does the Holy Light to finish things off. Mountain King going to Stormbolt one, finish off another in the back right there. And Yumiko, well, getting in some quick, easy kills as Vankor now comes back, this time with an Obsidian statue. All right, Death Knight still only sitting at level 2 here. We see some Revenant of the Seas. They're going to easily get cleaned up here. Death Coil cannot finish them off. I believe they are, they are considered undead units. So the Paladin could actually use a 200 hit point Holy Light Blast to try and, well, ensure that they get the experience. 51 supply compared to 68. Yumiko with a much larger supply, ready to push in pressure. Paladin, is he going to try and save this Footman here or deny him? No, there it is. There's the save. There's a little bit of Chain Lightning still bouncing around as the Void Walkers and these other, well, creeps still getting cleared up. Remember, that is a red creep camp. There's a massive Impale right there as the Death Knight, well, will need to get a good heal onto the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord down to 197 hit points, does end up staying alive. Orb of Fire, a debuff comes undone after the Potion of Invulnerability, as Water Elementals are now trying to go after that Obsidian statue line. More Holy Light coming back across. The Siege Engines are just trying to roll on through, passing through this battle as, well, units are still battling back and forth. Assassin continuing to pick off low hit point ghouls. Mountain King sitting at level 1, trying to get to level 2, does pick up a Potion of Invulnerability from the Paladin, I believe, and now able to stay alive. Archmage gets up to level 5, and we see some more engaging as well. Is the Archmage going to perhaps try and get a Staff of Sanctuary? No. Frost Nova onto the level 3 Paladin, and the Paladin is in trouble. Mountain King gets up to level 2 during this time, uses the Scroll of Town Portal, but things are cleaned up nicely. Vankor able to force a Scroll of Town Portal, took down the Paladin. Paladin was then resurrected at the tavern right before the Scroll of Town Portal, so they were all able to head back or get back out onto the battlefield quickly. 5-3-2. Yumiko sitting at 54 supply compared to Vankor's, well, 49 over 50 there. Random tanks, just random tanks just rolling on by during the fight, trying to put pressure, trying to take down some of these buildings. And Undead Death Knight looking to clear things up. You can see that the Siege Engine wanted to take down this Ziggurat here to try and open up access to the Haunted Gold Mine, as well, this Siege Engine down to 1 hit point before finally getting finished off. Archmage, level 3 Water Elementals going to try to engage here. Is the Archmage going to purposely back up, allowing the Mountain King and Paladin to do all of their fighting? Mountain King wants to get to level 3. There goes one of those battle golems. Forest Troll Warlord, level 6 creep, still doing a bunch of target practice against the Water Elemental. This Water Elemental having 7 armor, also getting healed up by the Priest, able to absorb a good amount of damage. Ring of the Archmagi also able to giving +3 to every stat. essentially a circlet of nobility on steroids. Coming back around, Mountain King sitting at level 2. Are we going to see some thunderclaps right there? There's a thunderclap and an impale. Both sides racking up damage. Ghouls are attacking a little bit more slowly. Riflemen getting swipe their way, clean up all of these other units. Mountain King is going to go for level 2 thunderclap, and yes, there you go. You can see suddenly how much damage 2 thunderclaps can do as the Mountain King is really trying to take it to this go wide army. AoE damage extremely effective against there, as the Death Knight, now down to 88 hit points, uses the Potion of Invulnerability just in time. Archmage also using a Scroll of Town Portal, as we saw, I believe, a Death Coil tear apart that assassin there. 63 supply compared to 45. It feels like Vankor is always with the smaller army, but he is mining more gold per minute right now since he is dodging upkeep. There are no obsidian statues nearby, and that Death Knight is really close to dying. Nope, he is dead. Not quite sure what that Death Knight's plan was. Anytime your plan is to try and, well, kill yourselves on creeps, I gotta question your plan right there. Perhaps he didn't realize what was happening, as a couple of siege engines are trying to roll inside of the base here and destroy all of these buildings. We're gonna take a look. Another siege engine getting taken down to this siege engine about to fall, and what additional experience will be given. Death Knight back at level 3, apparently wanting to, well, pick up a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, while the Crypt Lord and the Lich clear out of this creep camp. I'm not sure why the Death Knight went this way, unless they were concerned about a shortage on items. Lich continuing the fight here, perhaps going to try and take down these enraged water elementals, and Renegade Wizard as well. A couple of easy shots. Renegade Wizard gonna fall. Last but not least, this enraged elemental. Lich will be able to get to level 3 here quickly. There's well, skeletal minions, and that enraged elemental will end up falling at the hands of those skeletal minions there. Now, I am still surprised we don't see obsidian statues by Vankor at all. We do have the slaughterhouse, and that would help, well, with the Lich and the Death Knight's mana current situation. Did the Lich get to level 3? Yes, he did. Coming back onto the bottom right-hand side of the map, Ice Revenant going to get cleared up here. Lich auto-attacking. Ice Revenant down to, well, 3 armor destroyers here. There comes that obsidian statue. There's and now here we are. Oh, who's buzzing me right now? All right, obsidian statue actually getting poked down. Vankor losing a couple of units pretty needlessly, as we're looking at riflemen with inner fire, also some griffins ready to put in the pressure. All right, one acolyte already taken down. Mountain King getting a stormbolt, taking down another, and just constantly trying to shut down Atlas, or not Atlas, Vankor's mining. Tomb of Relics about to get cleaned up here. That is a lot of inner fire that could be very, very delicious for that destroyer. But remember, the riflemen will have bonus damage shooting at the destroyer before the destroyer gets within range to devour magic. We are looking at a couple of priests here trying to get into some heals. And still, in comes a gargoyle. That gargoyle is pretty much going to get shot down instantaneously, as the destroyers are going to be coming around, perhaps with some devour magic here to try to eat up these water elementals. All right, both sides engaging here. Destroyers, well, there's that devour magic, and able to do so much. A big thunderclap pushing or forcing a retreat back the other way. The destroyers not quite sure how they want to engage here, as we're looking at another big thunderclap. Mountain King at level 4, really racking up a lot of damage against all of these ghouls and this go-wide army. Death Knight being forced to retreat back. Archmage going to go ahead and use the Scroll of Town Portal. Paladin able to get off a Holy Light on the Mountain King, trying to keep him alive and ready. Mountain King, or meanwhile, back to the south side here. Siege engines get cleaned up by these meat wagons. Siege damage taking care of those, well, the siege engines easily. Once more, Atlas or Vankor's base just still looks very, very sparse. It doesn't look nearly as tight as those siege engines have constantly been running inside the base there. Meanwhile, Yumiko's base has pretty much been untouched. Not a lot of pressure inside at all. It looks like the Death Knight and the Lich are still trying to gain a little bit more experience. Meanwhile, Archmage leading the charge with the Paladin and Mountain King following not very far behind. Yumiko still sitting on the larger army, and now with this additional operational base in the top left-hand corner, having cannon towers with fortified armor able to protect, protect themselves. All right. Paladin, Mountain King, it looks like, yes, the Paladin also has a Brilliance Aura, just in case the Archmage gets separated a bit too far. Death Knight, Lich, ready to re-engage here. Vankor still has nearly 1,000 gold in the bank. Yumiko also nearly 1,000 gold in the bank. But Yumiko with, well, a much larger army, a much larger army should be able to deal a lot more here as the siege engines, or excuse me, the meat wagons retreat back. Where are the units trying to travel off to next? Yumiko knows that he's going to win in the economic game as he's just taking bases all over the map. He's trying to force, Vankor into a fight as Vankor must know he cannot just sit back and choose and wait for Yumiko to come to him, especially as Yumiko is continuing to build his economic advantage. Only 2.5 minutes of mining left on the main base here. The Expos have about a minute or 2 minutes of mining as well. Vankor is going to be in a lot of trouble if he doesn't set up an Expo soon. He may completely have forgotten that he needs those additional bases, and he's also actually rather low on lumber now, just now getting up a Goblin Shredder to try and, well, train up or get a bit more lumber to perhaps try and buy more things here, or train up more units here. All right, flying machines. Dealing with the gargoyles. 2 gargoyles shot out of the sky so easily. Both sides going to try and engage the flying machines, even having inner fire, that a little bit of bonus damage coupled with devotion aura. And you're going to see the obsidian statues getting poked apart pretty fast as well. 1 goblin shredder taken down. There goes another gargoyle again. And these air units just simply are not able to survive. Knights also closing in on the targets. There goes a destroyer right there. It's going to take a death coil and be able to escape back. All right. The flying machines unchallenged. No breath of fire, no carry-on swarm to deal with those flying machines. And those flying machines, well, as long as they're engaging against the destroyers, if the destroyers have mana, maybe their splash damage will be enough, but it does not look too worrisome so far. Meanwhile, the Lich now trying to retreat back, going to try and engage. There's a potion of invulnerability used in order to dodge, I believe, an incoming Storbolt, as the Archmage, well, holds on perhaps to this northern expo location and may try to establish that one as well. We are now looking at 2 mining bases to 2 mining bases, but these last 2 bases are about done. In the next 30 seconds, it will be 2-0 in terms of operational gold mines. And, well, Vankor needs to make something happen and have it deal lasting damage. Bottom left, 1 cannon tower is here. Little bit of damage. Incoming Scroll of Town Portal. Yumiko, well, looking to defend this location here. Fly machines already in pursuit. Dragonhawk Rider perhaps to try to shackle down a gargoyle or 2 if they do try and engage or just get within range. Flying machines do not have bombard. They do not have any way of attacking all of these ground buildings right now, as the haunted gold mines are now being unsummoned. Both sides fighting their way again here. Dragonhawk Riders should be trying to shackle at least some of these targets here. Flying machines are getting shot down as well, but I think Vankor is still on the losing end of this fight here. All right, more flying machines are getting taken down, but no real level ups. Remember, the Crypt Lord, if he can get to level 6, well, perhaps that ultimate ability, Carry-On Swarm, would be able to do something for that Crypt Lord there. Potion of Mana also onto that Crypt Lord, perhaps ultimate ability for, for the fight. All right, going to go ahead and try and engage. A couple more beetles getting summoned up. Gargoyles trying to engage back. Are we going to see some Impales? Necropolis nearly destroyed. Now trying to retreat back again. Flying machines looking to target here. There's a quick shackle, and then now those units are going to engage again. Both sides fighting their way through. All right, level 6. There goes a Thunderclap trying to heal. Impale. So much going off across the battle here. 61 supply compared to 72. Carry-On Swarm is going to be available. Is it going to be used? Yes, I believe it is now going to be used there, as the Crypt Lord is taking quite a bit of damage. does use a potion of invulnerability, is able to survive a little bit here as he is fighting on Blight. There is a couple more impales. Death Knight now trying to retreat back there. Doesn't have mana. Not going to be able to heal up that Crypt Lord, as that is going to be the game as the Lich falls. 56 supply compared to 43. Yumiko just out expanding and having multiple bases, ensuring that Vankor does, Vankor has to fight him, or Vankor has to fight Yumiko in an unfavorable spot. All right. A lot of air units suddenly at the very end. The flying machines, the Griffin Riders, the use of Inner Fire did come as a big surprise to me, especially on flying machines, since they're only one supply units. But I guess when you have that many Priest and Brilliance Aura, mana isn't really an issue. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Yeah, almost every single human unit trained. Yep. Well,